Hey y'all, it's your girl, Astonishing Figure, back at it again. I hope everybody's doing good on tonight. And y'all see the topic. Are you opted in or opted out? Y'all know I always come up with these crazy topics, but when I get to the message, it's quite simple. But y'all see the topic. Are you opted in or opted out? It's only your choice. If you are listening to this, go ahead and hit that share button for your home skillet. I sure would appreciate it. And I love y'all. I hope everyone is doing good on tonight. Again, I won't be before you guys very long. Y'all know me. I'm in and out. Got a message. Hope it resonates. Hope it does what it needs to do. Hope you can apply it to your day-to-day life and keep it moving, right? So, are you opted in or opted out? Okay? And when I mean opt, I mean, are you do you have optimism? That's what I mean. Are you optimistic? Are you living optimistically? I don't even know if that's a word, but we're going to use it on today, right? So, first of all, I'm going to hit you with the statistics. So, statistics say that genetically, optimism runs in the genetics 30%. So, off the bat, you have 30% of your genetics, whether it's good or bad, that's 30% that you have of being more positive. Okay? When we are talking about being optimistic, when most people think about optimistic, they think about, oh, it's just the positive things. No, ma'am, no, sir. Optimism, when you are being optimistic, you are actually looking at the positives as well as looking at your challenges and trying to correct them. So optimism doesn't always mean I'm just so positive, I'm so happy. No, it means that I am positive about changing the things that are in my future. And that's including myself as well. So I wanted to come to you guys on tonight and tell you guys about some ways you can be more optimistic in your day-to-day life. And I think we all strive to do this. We all strive to be more positive, and we all strive to do better things in our life. But sometimes we just need that reminder of the things that we need to do to become and to maintain being optimistic. So the number one thing that you should do to maintain and increase your optimistic ways is notice the good things. And when I say notice the good things that's going on, notice that you got arms. Notice that you got fingers. And it starts with the small things. Notice that you have eyes to see. And you're alive. So that's noticing the good things. That's being more positive. So I got eyes to see. So that means I can see where I'm going in the future. Hypothetically speaking, I know what's going on. I can use my limbs if I want to make a constructive, like a constructive company. I can use my limbs. I have limbs. I could pick up wood. Whatever your goal is, use those small things or notice the good things that are already around you. That's how you can increase being more optimistic. The second thing is stop blaming yourself when things go wrong. And no, they're going to go wrong because that's part of life. Stop blaming yourself for when things do go wrong, because you have to understand that timing is everything. So it may not be your time right now, but doesn't mean it's not going to be your time later. Just stay ready. Just stay ready. So don't blame yourself when things go wrong. Just understand and be mindful that it's just not my time, and you move forward. That's another way on how you can increase being optimistic. The third thing is give credit where credit is due. A lot of people can't do this because they're in their ego and they want to credit themselves. But you got to understand that if a person is sent to you to give you help, you need to be thankful that that person was sent to you to help you in a time of need. Just because it wasn't you that did it doesn't mean that you can't give credit to that person that was in your life at that time. So a lot of people have a hard time doing this just due to the fact that they want to be in their ego and they want to get credit. So give credit where credit is due. If a person has helped you in a time of need, give them credit. And give yourself credit too if you brought yourself out of the woodworks and trying to pull yourself up. Give yourself credit as well. Okay? If you guys are listening to this, go ahead and hit that share button for your home skillet. I sure would appreciate it on tonight. And once again, I hope you guys are doing what y'all need to do, doing better, practicing the things that I'm saying to you guys, because Lord knows I practice them myself. The fourth thing is being open to humor or criticism, constructive criticism. So sometimes people feel like, oh, you trying to hate on me? No, ma'am, no, sir. No, I'm not trying to hate on you. I'm just trying to help you to highlight some of the challenges that you have, and in hopes that you would take consideration of that and use it to kind of iron things out. So once again, like I said, optimism is not all about being positive. It's also about looking at those challenges that we have as individuals, looking at those barriers that we have as individuals, and taking that wall down and moving forward. So that's part of being optimistic. So when someone is actually trying to help you or trying to give you some constructive criticism, use that and don't say, oh, they hating on me. No, nobody's hating on you. Okay. People are trying to make you better. Okay. Everybody's not hating on you. People get in their ego at times and allow their ego to run some things, and it needs to be sitting in a back burner. Now, ego is not always a bad thing, but when it overpowers your whole life, then that's when it becomes a bad thing, right? So when we talk about being open to constructive criticism, we want that criticism because we need it. You need somebody that can actually critique what you're doing outside of you, because you already know that you have a bias. You're going to always think highly of yourself. So you need someone, I hope so. So you need someone that's on the outside to kind of help you see something that you don't see. That's why people have mentors. That's why people have coaches. That's why people have motivational speakers that actually try to highlight the good things, but also you need to look at the bad things or the challenging things. I won't say bad, challenging things that may transpire. Okay. The fifth thing is to treat yourself kind. Be kind to yourself. And I always say this, stop being so hard on yourself. I always say this, don't be too hard on yourself, because you're only you. Okay, a lot of people are lacking self-positive talk. So I want you to understand that when you be kind to yourself is kind to you. So take yourself out. Speak positive about yourself. Do some positive things for your own self. Stop always beating up yourself. And I know they say that we are our own worst critics. And sometimes that can bring you into a depression, and other times it can help you. So it just depends on how critical you are of yourself. And hopefully you have the people that are around you that say, it's not that bad. Don't beat up yourself so bad. I was speaking to someone and he was saying, I don't have the luxury. And when he said it, I was like, wow. He's like, I don't have the luxury to be depressed. I don't have the luxury to not be optimistic. And it really touched me when he said that, because when you are on a mission and you are on a plan and a goal to better yourself, you really don't have that time to give to depression very long. So if you do find yourself depressed, immediately you need to go and seek help, because you don't have time to sit in that depression. When you're on your path to a goal, you need to immediately find the next thing that you want to do to tackle that goal, because you don't have that luxury to sit in that pessimistic type of way. You have to automatically train your brain to be optimistic so you can move forward. Because as we know, this world is back and forth, and sometimes you need to encourage yourself, right? So, and the sixth thing is, and this is the last one, is know your barriers. Know what barriers you have. And like I said before, break down that wall. Allow friends to help you to break down that wall. Allow mentors or any other people that you have in your life that you think is a positive role model. Allow them to help you to break down those barriers. And sometimes barriers are challenging. That's why they're barriers. That all the time they are challenging. But it's really up to us to tackle those barriers one grain at a time. I want to say one grain at a time, in order for us to not be so hard on ourselves. Because sometimes, like I said, we are our own worst critics, and we think that we should be further than where we are. We think that we should be doing more than what we're doing. But once again, like I said, timing is everything. Maybe it's not your time to do it right now. Maybe that's not the way things need to be right now. Maybe you need to be still in a learning stage. Maybe you need to be in a teaching stage. So it's different types of stages in life that we go through that we need in order to get to the next level. So when we talk about being optimistic, I thought about a relationship. And in a relationship, when you go into a relationship, you are optimistic, right? And you're optimistic that this person is being truthful with you, the mask is off, and you guys are just trying to know each other. So optimism can only work in a relationship when the other person or both of you guys have the intent to give facts to each other, and also not having a mask on. A lot of people hide behind masks because they are embarrassed or shameful of who they are. And when a person finds out exactly who that person is, then the optimism in the relationship and for the future is gone, or is decreased tremendously. So it is up to us as individuals that the older you get, the more you like, this is who I am. You know what I'm saying? I change a little bit, but this is who I am. I'll change to better the foundation of our relationship. But me being me, this is me. I am a hard worker. I'm dedicated. I'm loyal. I'm ambitious. I am stubborn sometimes. I got an attitude sometimes. So these are the characteristics that sometimes those are barriers too. If you want to be in a good relationship, your partner should know your attitude. I was just telling somebody, I was like, you never got the mean side of me. You always got the attitude side. So by me saying that, he knew that he never got that. He only got like, oh, why you do, the attitude. So it's different types of characteristics that we are acceptable to in a relationship, and we're optimistic that the relationship will work with those characteristics that we see. It's not until the optimism is influenced by the mask being off, and you actually seeing like, oh, you beat women. Oh, you beat men. I can't roll with that. Maybe you should have told me that you beat men and beat women when I first met you. No, I'm not going to do that. Why? Because they are in their ego and they want what they want. So when I say being optimistic about everything in life, that's with goals, that's relationships, that's with parenting, that's with your work environment. Being optimistic means that you are positive, or you have a positive thinking about your future, and any challenges, you are correcting them as they come. That's how you become more optimistic. That's when you start to see your goals actually show you in front of your goals in your head is actually being displayed right in front of your face, because you are more optimistic. You're believing in yourself, and you're actually taking these challenges as not challenges but learning lessons to better yourself, so you can get your goals, and you can get a better relationship, or so on and so forth, or get a promotion at work, Being optimistic about that kind of helps those goals come right before your eyes. So those were the only steps that I had in regards to how to stay optimistic. And I know I always talk about positivity, but let's talk about some barriers. Like, I know everybody has barriers, and you'll lie if you say you don't, because everybody has barriers. So in those barriers, like I said, in order to increase your optimism, you have to tackle those challenges and those barriers and better yourself. In a relationship, if you have challenges but you still want to be with that person, you tackle those challenges and those barriers that you have in that relationship, and you move forward. Now, once again, like, if there is like domestic violence going on or things like that, that I would strongly advise not to try to be optimistic with that, because, need I say more? Don't be optimistic with domestic violence. Go. But being optimistic in a relationship allows you to tackle those challenges and tackle those barriers and move forward, because you're optimistic about being with that person. You see that their characteristics and what they present and what they bring to the relationship is something that you can work with, something that you love, something that encourages you or wants you to be a better version of you. So, like I said, I wasn't before you guys very long. I just wanted you guys to understand that, are you opted in or are you opted out? Are you living your life optimistically, or are you living your life pessimistically? Now, do we have some days where we just feel sad and feel not encouraged? Yes, we do. I mean, that's human. That's a human form. We're not always happy. That would be uncomfortable, actually, if I was always happy. But we're not always happy. But in our optimistic goal, we need to understand that barriers and are things that kind of bring out that sadness, and not to make us feel so optimistic about things. So when we attack those barriers and those challenges, we move out the blockages that's blocking us from increasing our optimism in our life, and we move forward. Now, it sounds simple, but it is hard work, and it's hard work when you're working on yourself, because I can tell you what it is, but in my life, it's hard work. That's why I can tell you what it is, if that makes sense. Because I told you guys that I never give you anything that I'm not practicing myself. I never say anything that I haven't went through or I'm not practicing myself or I've seen, or whether it's in my professional life or in my personal life. So once again, like I said, are you opted in or are you opted out? And I hope you're opted in, because when you opt in, you increase the positivity and the change that needs to happen in order for you to tackle your goal or create a healthy relationship or get that promotion. When you're opted in, things start to come into balance for you. And that's all that we're looking for as people, is a balance. We want a balance, a healthy balance. So it's your girl again, Astonishing Figure. Make sure you go ahead and hit that share button for your home skillet. I sure would appreciate it. I'll see you guys again next Saturday at 10 p.m. I love you guys. Be safe. Peace.